Namo Narayan, courageous yogis. We are back for another free live workshop where we are discussing how to internalize the steps of Yoga Nidra for sleep. So, many of you have wondered if it would be possible to do Yoga Nidra for sleep in those circumstances when, for example, let's say you don't have any mobile or Wi-Fi, you don't have that connectivity to the internet and to the networks. And so you can't listen to a guided session, but you still want to be able to utilize Yoga Nidra for sleep. Well, I'm going to give you guys really quickly the 3 steps for those of you who only have 2 minutes, and then we'll go back over these steps in greater depth. Okay, so first of all, you're going to go through the body scan. And then after you do the body scan, you focus on the points of contact between your body and the surface beneath you. And then after that, you do mental alternate nostril breathing. Welcome, let's do math. So that's basically it. You could stop this video now and you have what you need on that level. Of course, there's more to it than that. Everything is more complicated than just the simple upfront version. So let's go into it. So first of all, what is the purpose for sleep? According to yoga, we sleep to recharge our store of cosmic energy, of Mahaprana. Because especially for human beings, we have such a high frequency of consciousness, and in order to power that high frequency of consciousness, we need to have a lot of prana. And so the time of day when our personal pranic stores get replenished the most is when we are sleeping. And according to yoga, that's the reason we sleep. Science still has not figured out exactly what the function of sleep is. We know why we need it, we know what happens when we don't have it, but we can't really tell you exactly why or what's happening when we're sleeping, what is it exactly that's going on there, and it's because this is all happening on a deeply energetic level of cosmic energy. So the extent to which we can relax first before going to sleep is going to really determine the quality of our sleep, and whether you wake up full of life and full of energy and ready to go, or if you wake up kind of groggy and it kind of takes you a while, you want to sleep in. All of this has to do with how well your body was able to receive cosmic energy, Mahaprana, during your night of rest. So usually when we go to sleep, aloha, island girl, usually when we go to sleep, we go from our normal beta state, the beta alpha wave, or the beta brain waves. We go from beta to theta, and finally, ultimately delta, which are those really slow waves. Like the ocean, the waves of the ocean, those are delta waves. Usually we go from beta straight into theta when we go to bed. That's normal sleep or nidra. However, yoga nidra allows us to go from beta to first alpha. And we have those alpha waves, which correlate to relaxation. Those are the waves that we have when we're in meditation. And we go from alpha, then to theta, and ultimately delta. So having that intermediate phase where we go into alpha gives us a much deeper sleep and a much deeper state of relaxation. So we can think of nidra, normal sleep, as beta sleep, and yoga nidra as alpha sleep, because we have those alpha waves. Okay, so most people go to sleep without resolving those threefold muscular, mental, and emotional baggage that we carry with us, because we have a body, we have our breath, we have the mind and the psyche, and we need to be able to know how to relax each level of our being before we just slip off into sleep. And this is going to help us with the quality of our sleep. Okay, so this is what Yoga Nidra helps us to do. And each of these different techniques that we just talked about, that is ultimately what they're helping us to achieve, is to be able to relax first those threefold level layers of the muscular, mental, and emotional dimensions of our being. So first, we have the body scan. And this is where doing Yoga Nidra for a while, listening to it with a guide, really helps for you to be able to memorize that pattern. But most of you, I've had a lot of people tell me that they were surprised when they first did Yoga Nidra the very first time, because they said, oh, you know what, I've done this before. I just didn't know that it was Yoga Nidra. But I mean, I've rotated my awareness around each body part in order to relax myself before. And so they were already doing Yoga Nidra. And you can continue to do that as you memorize the pattern, the sequence of the body parts. It's not important that you get it exactly right, so that it's exactly the way that it is during a recorded session. What's important is that you are able to rotate your awareness through every body part, every at least group of body parts, and starting on the right side, then the left side, then from the top down, and then the groups of body parts, and then the whole body together. After that is done, a body scan, then you go into feeling the points of contact between your body and the ground. And it is similar to hypnosis, as Island Girl just suggested, in that we end up going into the hypnagogic state in Yoga Nidra. So Yoga Nidra is both a practice and a state. We do Yoga Nidra in order to experience Yoga Nidra, and the state of Yoga Nidra is the hypnagogic state. So it's between waking and dreaming is really that definition of the hypnagogic state. And that's where the subconscious, the psyche, is most impressionable, where we can work on fine-tuning any of our personality flaws or addictions, or planting tantric symbolism, stuff like that. It's all happening there. Yoga Nidra is kind of, it has everything all included in it. In a lot of ways, it really does. So after we do that body scan, then you go straight away into the points of contact, feeling those points where your body meets your bed. And this helps us to really just drop the mind's grip over the body right away. When you feel that and you just release your body to gravity. As soon as you start feeling those points of contact, like if you become aware right now of the points of contact between your body and the surface beneath you, then there's a simultaneous awareness to gravity. And so this helps us to be able to just slip down and release on an even deeper level. And then you can, what I do is I do one more body scan. And so I like to do 2 body scans for sleep. And then after that second body scan, now I'll do the alternate nostril breathing, the mental alternate nostril breathing, which is called Anulom Vilom. And here it's simple, you guys. You're just visually, mentally breathing in first through the left, then out the right, then in the right, out the left. And you continue doing that process, right? And that's one sequence. Inhaling in through the left nostril, visually. It's all just happening mentally. Out through the right, in through the right, out through the left. That's one cycle. And you keep on going. And to help you, instead of counting sheep, we can count Anulom Vilom. So choosing a number, a big number is good, 108. Because then the mind says, well, forget that. 108, you gotta be kidding me. I'm going to sleep. And that's what we're looking for. That's what we want. So also, trying to stay awake is one of the best ways to kind of trick the mind into going to sleep. When I was living in the ashram in Rikia in India, one of my roles was the gatekeeper. And when I was the gatekeeper for a couple of months, I would have to wake up anytime that a guest came. I was the one with the keys. That was my role. So if anybody came or went, no matter what time of day it was, I would have to be the one to let them in. There was times when I'd have to be up at 3 a.m. and I was already up at 11 p.m. that same night. So I learned that one of the best ways to sleep, to fall asleep, is to try to stay awake. When you're really trying hard to stay awake, boy, does the mind want to just do nothing else but just sleep. So the mind is kind of like a fickle child. It's kind of, the ego is kind of like that. The ego mind, the gross conscious mind is kind of like that child where you don't want to just stuff it in the trunk and you don't want to let it drive either. You keep it secured in the seat next to you, safely strapped in, like the part of yourself that you love, which it is. We need an ego. It has a role. It's protecting us on this level of duality, so it thinks. But we have to work with our mind. If we learn to work with our mind, then we can really start to gain a lot of ground in both meditation and deep sleep when that's what we need. Okay, so this is the overview of how to use Yoga Nidra for sleep, just how to memorize those patterns, how to be able to utilize this for yourself so that you can, even in those times when you don't have receptivity for whatever reason, you don't have connection, you can still utilize, Yoga Nidra, you can still go into those alpha brain waves first from beta to get that really deep, refreshing, rejuvenative relaxation. And so that's it for now. I want to keep this video short because sometimes people see the longer duration videos and it might intimidate them from even watching it. So 15 minutes for this video, really that's all it needs to be, you guys. It's simple, and I want you to know that. I want you to keep in mind, this is a simple technique you can do anytime that you even just need to rest and just need to just get a quick little refresher in. You can do these techniques, especially the mental alternate nostril breathing of Anulom Vilom. This really helps to balance the brain hemispheres. It just brings you into a state of equanimity. After just even doing 3 to 5 rounds of Anulom Vilom can really help to, once the brain has that equanimity, the mind comes out of its oscillating mode and it's able to become more one-pointed, and with that one-pointedness, you're now able to completely relax, let go, drift off into unconsciousness, and sleep. Which is so nice when we can, isn't it? Isn't it so nice to be able to get great, deep, restful sleep so we can wake up full of life, ready to go, and give the most to our meditation practice? We have to have a lot of energy, of prana, to be able to meditate and stay wakeful during our meditations. So having good quality sleep will give you that. It'll enrich your meditations, and of course it'll enrich your whole life in every other way as well. So if you guys have any questions about this, hopefully it was straightforward enough that you guys got it. And otherwise, keep your eyes out, because in the next week or so, there will be some new workshops released on the website tripurayoga.org. And of course, I want you guys to have first pick on those. And Island Girl, how'd you get to be so amazing? Aw, thank you very much. Thank you so much. You're very, very kind. And I really look forward to working with you, because I see you're also signed up for the Yoga Nidra teacher training, which there's still 10 places, you guys. It is half full, and there's still like 3 weeks left to go, or I think 2 weeks left to go before it starts. So You can, if you want to get trained up with a certificate on how to be able to actually lead and facilitate your own Yoga Nidra sessions, then I'm putting that on here in the next couple of weeks. You can go to tripurayoga.org to the workshops. Getting ready to completely revamp the website, you guys. There's going to be a whole new version of the website coming soon. And I look forward to interacting with each and every one of you more. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hari Om.